Hey everybody, welcome to the Hot Seat, your Thursday night must-see TV on your YouTube, computer, TV, phone, whatever you're watching YouTube on right now. It's Ken. We got to work on what we're using because in Rye, we were talking about the Hangouts. It's going away August 1st. You know why I know that? Because when I hit play, the thing says going away August 1st. So, well, I may be calling you, Rye, to figure out how you do your lives. So, guys, we have a great guest tonight. Just a solid guy. His channel, you all know it. Y'all love it. Cooking with Rye. Rye is in the house for us tonight. Kent, as always, my co-host with the most. You want to say hi to the people?
No, not really. Okay, but I will.
All right.
Welcome, everybody. This is going to be a fun one with Rye for sure. I've been on his live streams numerous times, so I'm looking forward to seeing the questions everybody has to ask him. Super chat price. What do you think, CJ? 22?
All right, I'll do 22 or 21.99. That seems fun.
There we go.
Let's before we get even introducing our guest, let's talk about what our guest has for shots tonight.
He's hitting it hard. I'm telling you.
He's got a bottle there. Rye, say something so we can see you.
I am shooting IBC root beer tonight. That's coming out of this.
That's awesome, man.
In the shot glass and in the Bat Cow mug, cactus cooler.
I love cactus cooler. Oh man, that's awesome. Well, being that we've already kind of talked to you, let's introduce our guest tonight. We got Rye from Cooking with Rye. Rye, say hi to the people.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me on, CJ and Kent. This has been kind of been waiting to do this. We've been trying to get it worked out for a while, so I'm glad we're able to make it happen. That's gonna be fun.
Right on. Welcome. I'm glad we were able to make it happen too. We actually, the way this worked out this week is because we had a cancellation, and that's what I always figured I'd be able to get you on, because we've talked about our schedules being, pretty far out and hard to reach. So when I had a cancellation last week, I was like, dude, this is the dude I'm gonna call, and we actually made it work. So I'm excited for that. Before we get going on the questions, I want to shout out my moderators in the chat. I see Miss Booger's in there. Let's see here. Easy Baked Barbecue's in the chat. Dan from SmokeyGoodness is in there. I think that's all the moderators in the chat. I'm not sure if you saw another one, Kent. Let me know.
I have not.
No. All right, cool. So the rest of the moderators are slacking. They're reporting late for their jobs. They're going to get docked an hour's pay for sure. All right. All our people in the chat thus far, I see Dad Incredible's in there, Mike Montoya, Mike from the Culinary Cookhouse, Enzo, son of a pizza man, Big Joe from Smoky Joe's Pit BBQ, Cooking with Big Cat 305, Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin's in the house. What's up, Mega Fred? Bill from Chicken Fried Barbecue said all them mods are slackers. See Jacqueline and Dad's on there, West Coast Cajun Cuisine, Parker from Blue Smoke Barbecue, the Grill Sergeant's in the house, Suburban Barbecue, Food for Men, Russell from Raspberry Rock, GT Barbecue, Kris from Eastwood Farms. See Chicken Fried Bar, I said that. Louis Colomidis. I'm gonna mess that up. Calamatis. We'll get there. Cooking with Rexy, how you doing? Good to see you in there. 1984 Barbecue. And I think that catches everybody up. Joe's Smokehouse and Barbecue. Welcome, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. If I missed you on the first go-around, there's Cooking with Cat. How you doing, brother? If I missed you on the first go-around, I'll catch you on the next one. Yes, Kent. Who did I miss now?
Did you get Grill Sergeant?
I did. Yes, I did get Grill Sergeant. He was one of the
I don't think you did, but okay.
You know what? I'm parched after saying all those names. I'm going to take a drink. All right, Rob. Oh, Mr. Homeowner, what's going on, brother? All right, man. After yelling at all those people's names, I'm just tired. It's been a long day. I've been breathing all day. It's rough, man. All right, you ready for these hard-hitting questions, Rob?
I'm ready.
All right. First hard-hitting question. Oh, I'm sorry. The Dogfather Barbecue said he's invisible, so I thought I shouted you out. My bad. Alton, don't feel bad. I miss a lot of people. You're not that special. I mean, you are special, Alton. Appreciate you. All right, where are you from, Ryan?
I'm from Southern California. I mean, I live in Placentia now. I was born in Linwood, grew up in Southgate, my whole life in Southern California. Just I'm a local boy. Everybody else in my family's from Minnesota.
Right on, right on. Oh man, Bill said you're awesome. Great job on the shout outs. I appreciate it. I need to start, running a little bit more, get my stamina up, my breath up. I can't. I'm beat, and I see Kent like trying not to laugh over there because he's just ready to bust my balls. But it is what it is. All right, family life. Let's talk about wife, kids, dog, cat, ferret. What do you got?
One wife, 2 kids, 2 dogs.
Right on.
Yeah.
And your kids, you were talking earlier, one's in college right now. What about the other one?
He is working, full time and, figuring out what he's going to do. He's heavily into music, super talented in the creating music and producing and stuff like that. And my daughter is studying, I can't even remember. I think it's psychology and something else. She's doing 2 majors. So
right on.
Insane.
That's tough. I mean, she's brand new at college, right? She just
finished her freshman year.
Just finished her freshman year. That's real. That's a big. What do they call it? I don't know. I want to say load, but I don't think that's the right word for it.
She's just sort of one of those beasts that she like finished her high school year with like 5 AP classes, and that's just her thing.
Yeah.
Super motivated.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. All right. Okay, what is your real job besides YouTube creator extraordinaire?
I'm a writer. I've been a writer for 27 years. I mean, I've been making my living at it for 27 years now. So,
I knew that already before I asked the question, but I've been on your live streams and all that. But what have you written? Like, what would we know, or would we know anything you've written?
Well, I started
actually. How about that?
Yeah, I started out writing novels, and first novel I wrote, I sold and was published. Okay. And then, let's see, I'm trying to think. Then the 4th novel of mine was turned into a movie called Mercury Rising with Bruce Willis. That was back in like 1998. I think
that's
awesome. Was. Yeah, and then I kind of segued more into screenwriting. Worked on a lot of screenplays. I've worked on several movies that have been made. One of the original script that I wrote called Knowing was made into the movie called Knowing with Nicolas Cage about 10 years ago.
That was the tribute kind of movie there, man. I remember
movie, yeah.
That one gave me the the little heebie-jeebies when I watched it.
Yeah, it was interesting, So yeah, and then I publish stuff under my own name, under pseudonyms. I mean, it's great. Being able to do it yourself now, not have to rely on publishers in New York, which I did for a number of years,
right?
And just to be able to do it and be in complete control. It's kind of like YouTube. You can reach the audience without any sort of barrier, as long as you put out something they want, book, or in case of YouTube videos, you can reach the audience, and that's freedom.
Yeah, definitely. Now, being that you have such the background in writing, have you ever thought about writing a cookbook?
It's funny. I get that question all the time, and I've said no, and then I said, okay, yeah, and then I said maybe. And I think I'm actually going to take a different approach to it. I'm just going to make recipes, once my website is built out, available on there, like the recipes from my videos. Because some people have asked, do you have them written out? And right. I've always just said the video is the recipe.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So some of them, I am working on getting them out, and I'm just going to put them on there. And if people want to like hit a tip jar or something like that, they can, or they don't have to. They can just get the recipe there and stuff like that. I think that's probably the easier way to give people like something they want. If they find value in it, then they can, they can offer something up.
Right on. No, that's a good way of doing it for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So Mega Fred Zeppelin's in the house, and he has a lifetime question with us, so we always ask it.
Yeah.
What is your favorite music, bands? Do you play any instruments, anything like that?
I know probably a lot of people on here aren't like personal friends on my personal Facebook page, because I keep it pretty much friends and family. But I said on there, I just recently decided I was going to teach myself to play guitar. And so I literally just started, I don't know, a week, 10 days ago, went and bought a guitar, and my fingers are killing me. I decided the first thing I was going to learn to play was Country Roads by John Denver, and that C chord, my fingers are not long enough, so it's just like killing me.
That's fun.
But yeah, no, I music wise, I think my all time favorite band is Fleetwood Mac. I'm kind of a mild rock, soft rock guy, country a little bit. So yeah, my musical tastes are pretty varied. It's, if I hear something, I like it, I'll like it. I don't care what genre it is.
Right on. That's fair. I kind of feel the same way. I mean, besides Justin Timberlake, who's a personal friend of mine, of course, but let's see here. Before we go to Kent with his questions, because it's about the time I flip over to him, guys, if you have questions, put them at Daddy Dutch in the chat, please. Want to shout out a couple more people I saw jump in the chat. Terry Epling Clean is in the house. Hey, Terry. Jimmy Q's in there. Leprechaun's one of our moderators. He's in the house. Ray Words is in there. Kevin Nash, Mr. Tom Horsman's in there, and Pickles Barbecue. So welcome all you guys. Tom's Food Factory, I just see you in there. Guys, the super shot price that Kent set up tonight was $22. And we want to see Rye take shots of IBC root beer all night because he's not a big drinker like Kent is. So if you want to throw a super shot in there, feel free.
It's going to knock me on my ass, this root beer.
That root beer is going to put you down for sure, man. All right. Kent, are you ready with any questions yet?
Oh, I got a couple for him.
All right. Well, let's get to work now. How about that?
All right. Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue lifetime question. Rye, if money is no object, what cooker or smoker are you going to buy?
The answer is not going to spend a lot of that money, but I'm going to get one, but I want to get a 26-inch kettle, Weber kettle.
All right.
The 22, I just want the 26 one, a little more real estate.
Just the 4 inches just makes such a huge difference. It's so much bigger.
I've heard that in many situations. I've
heard that before too. I saw Kent's head turn up and eyes light up like, sometimes, all right, Kent, take your shot. Guys, Dogfather's Barbecue put $22 in there. Cheers, y'all. I appreciate it. I'm doing vodka tonight, IBC root beer, and Kent's got his what is this Cooking with Cat trying to get a discount with $4.99?
He don't get it.
GT's Barbecue, traditional $24.99. Wow, I just make one mention of it, and here they come rolling. Rye, I hope you're ready for this.
Smooth.
Smooth went down real good.
Yeah, we doing another?
Yeah, one more. Kent, you got it ready?
No.
Can you get it ready? All right, cool. GT's Barbecue, Gary. All right, we actually just booked Gary for the hot seat in October.
Awesome.
It's root beer, so it's cheaper. All right, Phil. Appreciate it, brother. All super chats are appreciated for sure. All right, guys. Very cool. All right, Kent. Go back, bud.
All right. Easy Bake Barbecue, one of our mods, wants to know, how is Bat Cow, and will he make an appearance tonight?
Well, Bat Cow is making a mug appearance, but I don't think Bat Cow is going to make a video appearance. Hopefully I can get Bat Cow working on the live stream again. Bat Cow's been knocked out by a update in Windows and OBS, the software, so hopefully I'll get it back. But Bat Cow is holding my cactus cooler tonight.
I love Cactus Cooler. I don't know why I don't buy it, but I remember drinking that shit as a kid. And
I love that stuff, man. I love it.
Oh man, have you had that stuff before, Kent?
What is it? I've never heard of it.
Cactus Cooler is a soda. It's orange pineapple soda. Is that?
Yeah, orange pineapple.
Yeah, to me, and this is gonna sound totally off, but to me, it tastes like children's chewable Tylenol that I used to get when I was a kid.
I can see that. Yeah, you're right.
It's so weird or whatever, but
a tropical little flavor in it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, why are you flipping the pin already? Were you going to ask what a Cactus Cooler was?
Is this keto diet affecting your taste buds, or what the hell's going on?
Dude, it's good. I don't know. It's like you guys have Big Red out there, right? Big Red soda.
Yeah.
Okay, it's different.
No,
It's not something we have in California, but it's freaking outstanding.
Big Red Soda is actually in Nebraska. Dan at SmokeyGoodness has that. We don't allow it in Iowa.
You guys are so territorial. Smoky Joe's Pit Barbecue put purple drink, hashtag purple drink.
We just hate the Huskers. That's all.
Just hate the Huskers. There it is.
Kind of like you trying to root for the Bruins. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. What's the chair wine?
Oh, the cheer wine.
Cheer wine.
Yeah. Cheer wine was one of my viewers said something, have you ever had cheer wine? And I had never even heard of it. And so he told me about it and I went and looked for it. And it's like a black cherry type soda. And I got some and made a barbecue sauce out of it, used it in a video, and it was really good. I mean, I remember when I was a kid and walking home from school, they used to have those vending machines in like the Save-On drugstores where you could get a soda that would come out in a paper cup. And I would that the little black cherry soda, and it reminded me of that completely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, CJ is a little young for the paper cup out of the vending machine.
Oh my god! Hey, Shaney Boy Cooks, all the way from the UK. Wow, it's a bit early for you guys. I appreciate you being here. Either you're just getting home or just waking up. So welcome. All right, go ahead, Kent.
Okay, Gary from GT's Barbecue wants to know, Rye, how far ahead do you plan your cooks?
It can be anywhere from a few weeks to a few days. Sometimes there'll be things that I make ahead of time, and then like I'll freeze things, and I know I'm going to use it. Like if I do a lot of pork butt for something, I'll save a bunch of it and then put it, in some other recipe down the road. So some things are planned way ahead. Other things are like, hey, this was on special this week at the store. I'd like to use that.
Yeah. You can find something you want to use on sale. I think you're dumb for not doing it.
I do that all the time. I mean, yeah, it's like, the Wagyu stuff is nice when people send it to you, but to go out, and buy it, it's a treat. So, I think the most I'm comfortable like spending on something is like when you're getting like, say, a prime brisket at Costco,
right?
Because you're getting a pretty decent price actually at like a Costco for that. And
it was last 2 weeks ago or something like that. It was $2.99.
Yeah, that's when they usually have it on that nice, $2.99 sale. That's like a killer deal for the brisket. It's prime.
Yeah, I send it to Kent. Anytime I buy anything that I'm a little odd about, I'm like, is this good?
See, and the hard part about that is you getting brisket for $2.99 out in California, that's everyday price in Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
So, but yeah, we're in the middle of cornfields. What do you expect?
Yeah.
So, you done? Okay. I didn't hear you. You were talking into your glass. Raspberry Rock wants to say, Rye, long-time listener, first-time questioner, when are you going to put out more bundt cake recipes?
Just FYI, Raspberry Rock Russell and I have known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
And you can tell him I've lost the recipe from Lou Gastoni. So as soon as I find it, I'll make that bundt cake for him personally.
Yeah.
That's an inside joke. That's a way inside joke.
I think I've seen you on Russell's lives before a couple times, and yeah, I watching the chat. I figured you guys had quite the history together.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, Chicken Fried Barbecue wants to know, Rye, what is the favorite barbecue sauce you've made, and what video is it on so he can look it up?
I've got to say it's probably either the Cheerwine barbecue sauce, which was not that long ago. I think it was on I think it had Cheerwine chicken or something like that. But the other one was a Guinness barbecue sauce I did back in March with some ribs. That turned out really good. For I'm not a drinker, but the Guinness really had a nice flavor in that barbecue sauce. So yeah, either the Guinness barbecue sauce or the Cheerwine barbecue sauce.
All right. There you go, Bill. And Bill also wants to know what's your favorite channel with 926 subs.
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. What's his channel?
I think it's GT's Barbecue.
I really like GT's Barbecue.
That's a good one. You should check that out for sure. Hey,
hey, Gary, you can send me $20 for the shout out.
Hobo just jumped in the chat. He asked how much it costs to drink tonight. For everybody else, it's $22, but for you, it's $122.
Oh, Jesus, don't do that. I don't want to have to catch up on 6 shots.
I'll have to break open another root beer.
Seriously. Yeah. All right. Welcome, Hobo. Good to see you in there, brother. All right. Is that your last question there, buddy?
No, I actually have quite a few more, but why don't you let me get caught up on the chat, and we'll save these for a few minutes down the road.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Being that you were talking, then we got quite a few more people in there. It's all about the rag. Sim 1000, Ken Vaughn, sorry. Rick's Barbecue in Blackstone. Chef Johnny's in the house. Welcome, Chef Johnny. Appreciate you being here. Delena's in the house. Grumpy Old Gringo, which I love that name. It's awesome. Bushy Bayo. Bethany's in the house. Babe of Josh and Babe. Josh is in the house, and Hobo's in the house. So welcome, guys. I appreciate y'all being here. Let's talk about how you got started on YouTube, Rye. What made you start doing this?
I had just purchased, I'd been smoking, stuff in my electric smoker for years, and I had just purchased an Oklahoma Joe's Highland. And, I had seen a few things that, you probably needed to do a few modifications on it to, make it work a little better. And so I had watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it. And I was just about to start doing some of those simple mods on it. And I was out in the garage and was like, I'm just going to whip out my iPhone and I'm just going to film some of the things I'm doing and just see what happens. And I did. And I think that, I had no subscribers. There's no one, but I think I got like 100 views or something like in a week, maybe 2 weeks. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then so I decided I was going to make another video. And I think my second video was a tri-tip video. And that, did reasonably well for someone with no subscribers. And I just really enjoyed it. And I just decided, hey, I'm going to keep doing it. And that was really it. It was kind of like I started, I'm not going to stop now. And there really wasn't any other magic to like the beginning of it. It was just, I'm going to try it. And I figured if, 10 or 15 people watched that video, then it might be worth putting up a second one.
Right on, right on. How long ago was that when you decided to do that?
March of 2017.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's some pretty good growth right there.
Yeah. I've had a couple, really nice bumps along the way. Had a really nice shout out from Russ at Smoky Ribs about a little over a year ago. And, right around that same time, one video that I'd put out kind of got a little bit of a viral hit. So I started getting a bunch of people, but it was really at that same time, actually, right around that time when Russ gave me that shout out, that I said to myself, I just made a commitment. I said, I'm doing 4 videos a week. I'm just going to do 4 videos a week, no matter what. And I kept that up for almost a year. There's a couple times I've only done 3, but I don't think I've ever dropped below 3 videos a week since around April of 2018.
Wow.
And as I did that, that was really, I saw that growth, and any other sort of thing that came along to, bump it up, someone giving you a shout out or something, the volume really helps, I think, in the YouTube algorithm, as long as you're putting out content that people actually want to see.
Right, for sure. I'm with you on that. The shout outs always help, all the way. I've had a couple people give me some shouts along the way, and I try to shout some people out, and I do the hot seat. So people always ask me, how many subscribers do you have to be on the hot seat? I'm like, you have 1.
Yeah.
Kid's a perfect example. He had 2 when Hobo forced him to come on. So,
he didn't force me.
He twisted your arm a little bit to come on?
It wasn't YouTube rape or anything like that. No, come on.
You were consensual. It was okay.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, cool. So being that you committed to yourself, with those 4 videos a week, and you do the live streams too, that's what 5 days a week you're pushing out content. What is your end result? What is the goal of doing all this?
Well, I mean, I was doing one live stream a week for probably, I want to say 6 or 7 months. And then I dialed it back to like 2 a month. So every other week, because it really was just becoming a lot, because with channel growth, you know, you're starting to do a few more things too.
Right.
But my end result is I want this to be my full-time gig.
Okay.
You know, and right now it's probably about 50% of where it needs to be for that.
Oh, right on.
So it's yeah, I enjoy doing it. You know,
Right.
and if you can make something you really enjoy doing, the thing that kind of, you know, puts bacon in the pan.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Then yeah, you know,
it's funny that, like, you know, we've talked about it on here 100 times. Like, this is a second job for me. Like, I have a full-time gig. We were talking before, but I want to make something out of this, you know, and that's, you know, and obviously some income would be freaking awesome.
Mhm.
I never think I'm quitting my other job, you know, but it's, you know, it'd be nice to, you know, have a vacation on YouTube, you know, or something like that. Right? So,
yeah.
Do you have some room for that play button that you should be getting here pretty soon? You got it. Well, you're at 65, something like that, 63, something like that.
63 something right now. Yeah. So, yeah, I got room for it. I'll take it when they want to give it to me when it's there. I want that. I mean, you know,
it's probably what most people really strive for when they start YouTube.
It was funny when I first started. It was like, honestly, I thought if in a couple of years, I figured if I had 5,000 subscribers, I would think that would be pretty cool. I was thinking, you know, maybe 5,000 in a couple of years. But yeah, when things started growing and everything, yeah, it's always nice to look at those things and say, that's kind of cool, you know, that you get a little bit of recognition or something like that. It's just neat. But as I always say, honestly, to my wife, we talk about this a lot. The thing that really is the neatest thing is, and I'm not joking when I say this, is every single day, especially through my Facebook page, you know, the Cooking with Rye Facebook page, people will send me pictures of things that they've made, you know, that were from recipes that I put on my channel, and they'll ask questions. Hey, if I change this ingredient, stuff like that. So you don't recognize how much of a connection you're making with people until you start getting that feedback. And that is really cool. I mean, these are people all over the world.
It's true.
When you're in a live stream and you see it, you go, oh, someone from Morocco, someone from Ukraine, someone from Brazil. It's like, you know, this is unprecedented, you know, in how easily it is to connect with people.
Right. In the friendships, for lack of a better word, you make with this.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about people from far away, like Lassie from Lassie's Food and Barbecue.
Yep.
He was in Southern California. He came to my house.
Yeah.
We did his hot seat from my house. Yep. And I was shocked by that. You know, it was so, like, this is global. You know, this is some real stuff going on.
Yeah, it's crazy when you do a live stream and, you know, different times around the world, and you'll see someone who jumps on and they say, oh, I'm from the Netherlands or I'm from Morocco. And like, what time is it there?
Right. That's what the guy from the UK. I did a hot seat for Kris the Butcher from the UK. I did it like Sunday morning so he could, you know, it was 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock there or whatever. Yeah. So it worked out. So the gentleman, where I forgot the name, Shanny Boy Cooks, it's freaking early in the morning right there in the UK right now. So like I said, either he's coming home late for something or getting up early to go to work. So
yeah.
A couple more people jumped in, but before we get started with that, Mr. Homeowner dropped the super chat in there for 22. I'm gonna drink my vodka. You get your IBC. Cheers. Nostrovia. Oh, anyway. All right, guys. A couple more people jumped in there. Superman's Barbecue, Johnny Maggs, Pit Life Barbecue, Brandon Larson. No, he is not cooking on the hot seats. Canadian Jim. Unless you want to, Rye. If you want to start cooking, I'll allow it.
I'd have to light a fire right here.
Let's see here. Dustin Sharp. So Canadian Jim, Dustin Sharp. So welcome. Guys, I've seen a couple people that I don't quite recognize, so they're new to the channel. So if you want to subscribe to Rye, his link's down below. Jason from Easy Bake Barbecue has been putting it in the chat also. If you hit show more, you'll see my link, Daddy Dutch's link, and all our moderators. So make sure you guys are subscribed to them. And anybody in the chat, if you'd like to subscribe to them, hit the 3 little dots next to their name on the comments. And Dustin Sharp, that's right. So Cooking with Cad, Dustin Sharp's his son. He's the D in Cad. It's Caleb and Dustin. That's right. So anyways, guys, so make sure you're subscribed and help build the community for sure. Everybody helps everybody. We keep growing, and we got 67 people in the chat. So that's a good amount of people, but we want more. So hit that little arrow, hit that arrow below our screen, share it on your social medias. Let's get some butts in the seats. How about that? Miss Donna David's in the house. She says she's here for Rye. Donna's Mike from the Culinary Cookhouse's main squeeze. So it's good to see. I love seeing husbands and wives in there. Josh and Babe, well, not husband and wife, but Josh and Babe are in the chat too. So
I think my wife's watching right now. I don't know if she said anything yet.
If she would like, she's more than welcome to come in and say hi to the people. We love having family and kids and spouses in there. So.
Irene, if you're out there, come in here a second and say hello. I know she's watching.
Babe is not married. Sorry. She keeps reminding that Josh is lacking on the ring. So we'll work that out someday, okay? When you were talking about your shooting the videos and all that, do you ever get your wife involved? Does she help you out there, or is it a one-man show?
I handle most of the camera and audio and lighting stuff, but she's 90% of the time she's there. Okay. And yeah, in fact, here she's come on around here. Here, come in and say hello. They've seen you in videos before.
Yeah.
There she is.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. Glad you could be on and say hi to everybody.
That's Kent.
Hi, CJ. Hi, Ken.
Thanks for letting us have Rye for the hour so we got him on.
She's keeping me fed with IBC root beer.
Do you want me to give you more?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I got a few more shots to go.
All right.
Thank you.
That's a good woman right there. You need another beer, honey? I'll bring it. There you go. All right.
She's very much involved in, especially the planning, of what a video is going to be or what we're going to do. Things like, I always say we, because she, like I said, she's really integral to it.
Does she help with the editing and all that stuff, or sit with you while you're planning it or whatever?
No, I handle the editing and all that stuff myself. She also works full time, so that's.
Oh yeah, okay.
I handle most of that stuff, but like I said, 90% of the time when I'm filming, she's there. And she'll say, she'll tell me, like, you got something here. In fact, there was one video, I can't remember how long ago it was, she wasn't there. And for a good portion of the video, there's like food in my mustache. And at the end of the thing, I just when I'm editing it, like, you can't get around it. You can't erase your face. So I just put like a big arrow on the thing, like, what the heck is that? Like in the video.
That's awesome.
It was like, it's there.
All right. Big Rob D's in the house. Michael Rizzi. Welcome, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. That's funny. I never think about having stuff in my beard or stuff in your teeth or whatever. You
gotta have fun with it. If something screws up, and if it's, I will leave funny stuff in if it's funny, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I make sure I comb this down every time before I get on the camera. And my hat, like, if it's not lined up just right, like, I look in the, there's if you look at my microwave right there, I'm looking in the screen. I'm like, someone's gonna notice if it's like a little cockeyed.
If you look at my hat, you'll see it slightly off. And I've had people say, your hat's crooked. Your hat's crooked. No, my hat's not crooked. My head's crooked. Like, it doesn't go that way. That's my head.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Dash is in the house. SDS Barbecue. How you doing, brother? Good to see you in there. He's actually scheduled for July 11th, so get to see him on there. All right. Since you've been doing it, damn near 2 years, I already said, Donna, what did you say? Can't put that back up there and make a noise.
That's you, buddy. That's you.
Whatever. It is what it is, man. I own it. And there you go, Johnny Maggs. I love you, brother. He said, CJ, you're beautiful, brother. Damn right I am. You can't last this long without a moneymaker. You know what I'm saying? Look at Kent, dude. His eyes are gonna roll so hard they're gonna go through the freaking thing. Fire and water cooking. Sorry you're late, but he's here. Glad you're here, Darren. Appreciate it. I just got a sous vide machine, so I'll be calling you pretty soon, man. All right. One piece of advice you would give a brand new YouTuber if they wanted to do it?
Start making videos and put them up.
Straight up, huh?
Straight up, get it up. They're not going to be good. I mean, go look at my first, 5, 10, 15, 20 videos and compare them to like the last, 10 or 15. And I'm not great. There's a lot of people out there who are much better on camera, better editors, better filmmakers, better cooks. But I've been doing this through just over 2 years, and I have 350 videos. So you get better the more you do.
Right.
And it's just sort of a natural inclination. It's kind of like, I said, I'm going to learn guitar. Well, every day I'm playing that thing for at least 10 minutes until my fingers hurt.
Nice.
You can't get good at something unless you do it.
Well, it's true. And, you've been doing it long enough that you get better at your editing and stuff like that. You find new tricks of the trade. And, I know there's, usually Keith Bettag's in there, questioning what's editing. But,
but I watch a lot of, other YouTube channels that are, specifically about filmmaking and editing and things like that too, just to kind of learn. I've watched probably every video that Peter McKinnon's made, or Matty Hopoja, other people that just, you kind of learn shortcuts more than anything.
Right.
And
you have a way of doing it, right? And you've learned it, how it's going to work. And that's how you get through it. Every once in a while you'll pick up some stuff, but you have your own way of doing things, right?
Yeah. I mean, I changed up. I don't remember how long ago I went from using one camera to using 2 cameras to using 3 cameras and sometimes 4 cameras now.
Oh, wow.
So but it gives, the thing about that is people always think it's overkill, but what more cameras gives you is safety.
Yeah.
One camera angle, if it goes out of focus, you've got 2 more or 3 more angles you can go to.
No, I'm with you on that for sure. Safety. Yeah, that's very smart. I'm we talked about my camera died on me, so I've been using my iPhone to film for the last whatever. Just because
I use my iPhone in every video.
Yeah,
my iPhone shoots every little moving pan shot that I do,
right.
And I just stabilize it in the editing.
Well, I've just worked it out, that I know how to just get it done, and I'm about due to upgrade. It's the whatever year's up or whatever. I want to get the 10, but I'm going to keep the 7 to do the dual shots.
That's what as soon as I upgrade this, I'm keeping this as just a camera.
Yeah, it's simple, and how it works, and it's going to be great. Mm-hmm. Hold on real quick. What are you doing over there? Mrs. CJ is walking by. She's topless again. It's weird. She just walks around willy-nilly.
I do that too.
Yeah, it's true. Kent does all the time. You should see what he could do with a vice grip. Mm-hmm. It's bad.
Why isn't there a topless, hot seat one night with everybody?
I think we get more thumbs down than thumbs up for sure.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm only wearing a shirt. That's it.
The rest below is leaving it to your imagination for sure.
Like every news anchor on television, you're not wearing down below.
Can't kill bosses. I can't say that. Anyway, so the barbecue's in there. What's up? What's new, barbecue? Casey's in the house. What's up, brother? Appreciate you being here. Let's see here. So you're using 4 cameras. What are you using to edit? Are you?
I use Adobe Premiere Pro. That has a multi-camera feature. Really, and honestly, that's one of the things I learned from watching Peter McKinnon. He did a whole video on that, and I was just taking each camera track and cutting back and forth, which if you do that long enough, it's a pain in the butt.
Right.
And the multi-camera feature that's built into Adobe, you hit a key, it goes take camera 1, take camera 3, take camera 4, take camera 2, and you just go along and it does it. And it makes it extremely simple, probably saves, easily 90% of the time you would doing it the other way.
Wow. When I do switch to 2 phones,
yeah,
I gotta give it a shot for sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Homeover, everybody subscribe to everybody. Hey, whatever works, guys.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna subscribe to someone, make sure you're watching their crap. Having a subscriber is great and all, but people want views, man. They want people watching their shit. All right, Kent, I'm going to turn it over to you real quick and get my notes together, and we'll come back. All right.
All right. Okay, Rye, first question is from Elton at the Dog Father's Barbecue. When you're not cooking, where do you go out to eat and what do you order?
We've got a couple places we like to go to. There's a restaurant not too far from here called Craftsman Wood-Fired Pizza, which is our favorite restaurant. Some friends own it. Great burgers, great pizza. I have trouble with lactose, so cheese isn't a great thing all the time, and I really miss like lasagna. That is like my favorite thing to eat. And if I just miss having that big cheesy gooey lasagna. Because that's, yeah. If I could just like snap my fingers and be done with this sort of lactose intolerance thing, I'd be out like eating lasagna all week just to make up for lost time. Because you turn 50 and all of a sudden all these sort of digestive things come at you and go, oh no, you're not eating cheese or anything anymore. No. So yeah.
That's funny, man. I mean, not funny. It's sad.
Oh,
it's
no,
pretty interesting. How about that?
Funny. It can be pretty funny.
My wife doesn't eat cheese, and I don't understand it. She just doesn't like it on much.
My wife doesn't like cheese either. She doesn't either. Yeah, it's strange.
Crazy. To me, that's crazy because I love cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Mr. Homeowner and Blue Smoke Barbecue, the Late Show, kind of asked the same question, so I'm going to combine them. They want to know, what is your favorite meat to cook or favorite thing to smoke?
Tri-tip. I've said that over time when people ask, and that was one of the first things, if not the first thing, I ever smoked in my electric smoker. And when I started doing videos and putting tri-tip videos and things out, the thing that surprised me the most was people across the country saying we can't get tri-tip here, or we have to pay like $17 a pound for it. And it's like, I'm like, what? Things like this stuff's like chicken in California. And it always just amazes me because it's like, what? The cows are different, but I don't know what it is. But in different areas of the country, people have a real hard time getting tri-tip. And it's just my favorite cut. I know that it's going to turn out exactly as I want it with the way that I cook it, because you just get used to it. And it's just so tender, juicy. It takes smoke well. It doesn't take a long, long time to cook. You can grill it. I mean, it's a terrific cut.
I agree. We didn't have it in the Midwest until about, I'm going to say 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be hard to find, but when you got a buddy who's a butcher 10 miles down the road, it makes it a lot easier.
That's nice.
So, oh yeah. Okay. Cooking with Cad. He asked Star Wars or Star Trek, but he's saying by what's in your background there, he's guessing Star Wars.
Star Trek. Star Trek.
Really?
Yes, Yoda was a gift. Where's Yoda? Yoda's over here. Yeah, Yoda was a gift. No, I'm a Star Trek guy. Yeah.
All right. For, Next Generation or the original?
Probably the original. I mean, I don't have anything against the Next Generation, but the original was kind of just so groundbreaking. I mean, it was on when I was a kid, and I was young, so I don't remember a lot of it in terms of like watching it the first time. But just like everybody got to know I Love Lucy in reruns and things like that. Star Trek was the same way.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I remember. I'm trying to remember what night it was always on, but it's been a long time ago since I watched it. So, yeah. Okay, Lewis, what's your last name, as CJ likes to say?
Calamides. I'm just gonna say it. Calamides. That's how I like to say it, and that's how I'm gonna say it.
Okay. Oh, geez, Alton, knock it off. Perfect barbecue cook. Setting, meat, rub, sauce, cooker. What is it?
Ooh, that would be the perfect size brisket, say a 13-pound brisket on the Weber kettle, with just a simple rub, salt, pepper, garlic powder on there, letting it go, letting it get to probe tender, maybe wrapping it, when you hit the stall. But yeah, I mean, I think one of the best briskets I ever did, according to my wife and everybody who had it, was one I did recently on the Weber kettle, and I've done it on lots of different cookers. They said that was the best, and it was just a USDA prime brisket. It wasn't Wagyu or anything like that. I did a Wagyu recently that was really good too. I did that in the pit barrel, I think. But this one just turned out, and that was, the kettle is my favorite cooker. I've said it many times. I think you can do just about everything on it, and the results you can get just with simple things are amazing.
That is the one spot I thought you were going to absolutely say tri-tip.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, tri-tip's my favorite cut, but when you're talking about a perfect cook, I could take a tri-tip and cook it perfectly on the kettle, no problem. But sort of like that cook you kind of dream of, and it's that brisket, that just turned out great. It was just everything came together, and I'd like to be able to replicate that.
Okay. I see a question in here from Mrs. Dogfather. She wants to know, what's your salt to pepper ratio?
Usually, it depends. If it's on a big cut of meat, it's probably going to be 1/3 salt to 2/3 pepper. If it's a smaller cut, it might be closer to 50-50 because I'm not using as much.
Fair enough. Makes a lot of sense. So the bigger, that bigger cut can handle just so much more seasoning on the outside.
Yeah.
So. All right. Mike at the Culinary Cookhouse says he's seen you do a couple pizza videos in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Any pizza videos upcoming?
Yes. In fact, my wife and I were just talking about that earlier today, because we was out buying some supplies, and it was, hey, here's like a 5-gallon, container of artichoke hearts. So I don't need 5 gallons of artichoke hearts, but we're saying, haven't done a pizza, and why not use artichoke hearts and other things on it? So yeah, no, I do have some pizza stuff coming up.
Okay, there you go, Mike. You got your answer. Smoking Joe's barbecue asked this earlier. Can you explain what AFS bacon is?
AFS bacon is the best way to make bacon. AFS stands for acceptable floppy state. It is when the bacon is cooked, but will still bend like a finely smoked piece of brisket slice in your hand. It should not be stiff and crispy and break and crumbly in your mouth. It should have some flop to it. That's AFS. The best way to cook bacon.
Okay.
I was wondering if that was
I just think it's funny. So. All right. Simple Man's Barbecue wants to know, when are you writing another movie?
Oh, probably never.
Probably never.
I really kind of stopped working in the film stuff, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago. It's you spend a lot of time working on stuff that will never, ever get made. Ever. And I've worked on, 15, 20 scripts over, 12, maybe, no, about 15 years that I worked in the industry. Several that were made, only one has my name on it because you don't get credit for everything. So it's just, it's not as fun as it was when it started and the business changed. Kind of like publishing changed, for books too. It's much better to be in charge of your own product. And that's why I enjoy the YouTube stuff so much.
Perfect. Babe of Josh and Babe left more of a comment than anything. She says, Rye, she loves it where your heart is at. A pure heart gets you so much further in life.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I always say to people, there's a lot of negativity in the world. There's a lot of negativity on social media. There's a lot of negativity anywhere you look. There's conflict. Everybody's talking politics or whatever. You know what? If we're making good food and people are enjoying it, I mean, that's kind of what it is. And, you can join in that other stuff, or you can just try and be something that people want to watch, whether it's on YouTube or on, your Facebook page or anything like that. People can turn anywhere for the negativity, give them something else.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
there's amen to that, brother, for sure.
There's plenty of negativity out there, that's for sure. So, Let's see. How many more do you want me to go, CJ?
You know what, Ryan, we're coming up on the hour. I know we talked. We want to try to do an hour and 15. I got about 4 questions left for you that I really want to get.
We can go an hour and a half. We need to.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and ask like 1 or 2 more, and then I'll get mine in.
Okay. Darren from Firewater Cooking. Where do you get your recipe or the ideas for your cooks?
Most of the recipes are kind of made up. My wife and I will talk about things. Some of them come from a family cookbook that sort of her family and some came from my family. And we'll take some of the, like I did several videos last year on my mom's cracker pie, which she, used to make when she was alive all the time around the holidays. So those sort of things we'll use. We'll look at some things and say like the Cheerwine chicken, it was someone had said, hey, Cheerwine barbecue sauce. So I looked at some and I thought, hey, I'd like to add this to it and see how it tastes. So I really like to experiment and put a little bit of originality, even if the recipe might be kind of common. I like to try and add something and see if it'll taste good.
Sure. You can always try make it a little more your own by, adding a twist. Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Louis Kalamata says, tell Rye I love his passion. He puts into everything, the cooks, the live streams, and everything. You can tell it's a passion. So there you go.
Thank you, Louis. Yeah, I've seen Louis many times on my channel and the live streams. I don't think you've been there in a while, though, Louis, but I appreciate you being in there and commenting and stuff, too. Yeah.
Okay. One last one, then I'll save a couple for the end, CJ.
Got it.
Oso's Barbecue says, what's your favorite cooker and your favorite fuel source? Is it wood, lumps, briquettes? What is it, right?
My favorite cooker is the Weber kettle. So my favorite fuel source is wood. They don't really work together there. So, favorite fuel source, wood, using the offset. But my favorite cooker is the kettle. I prefer to use straight briquettes. I don't use lump usually because I like the sort of predictable burn of I just use plain Kingsford blue briquettes. And I just have to add this here for the few commenters who have left things saying, you're poisoning people by using that stuff. It's like, it's not Matchlight. I'm not using Matchlight. Okay?
Amen.
Kingsford blue is not Matchlight.
Oh my gosh.
So, but I just like the stable burn time of it. It's predictable. I'll use lump for direct grilling and things like that, but I prefer to use briquettes in the Weber kettle.
Agreed. So, okay, CJ, I got one from CAD and one from Firewater coming up yet, but we'll save them to the end.
All right, cool. All right, Mike Montoya dropped his traditional 29-29 because he's from 29 Palms. So thank you, Mike. Cheers, brother. Can't wait to see you out here. Oh, it's good.
I've only got half a bottle left.
You got half a bottle left. People aren't putting enough shots in there. Sorry, brother. Last week, people were going nuts in the super shots.
I remember one night watching you guys, and there were like people were dropping 150, and it was like you guys were just.
that was
Kent was like, no, stop.
That was last week. That got out of hand. That Friday was a bit rough for sure.
A bit.
A bit rough. I called Ken later. He's like, I'm still drunk. It's okay. Excuse me. All right. Thanks, Mike. I love you, brother. All right. This one I just kind of wrote down, and it goes back to making your videos and how you do it. But do you have a preference on timing of your videos? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour, whatever.
I don't really have a preference, but they all generally tend to fall somewhere in like the 8 to 12 minute range, the majority.
Right.
Some are longer, and those always surprise me. I mean, I'm always like, I'm saying when I finish shooting a video and just as I start editing, I will say, oh, this is going to be a 8-minute video, and then suddenly it's 14 minutes.
Yeah.
I've already cut. So it's like, I'm horrible at planning how long a video is going to be.
You know what? I thought about that in the past because when I first started, I had someone comment, "Bro, your videos need to be 5 minutes." And then I'm going through YouTube University, Nick Nim and all them guys, and you should have at least a 10-minute video. And there's so many contradictions out there. And I finally just stood back and I'm like, I'm gonna edit the video, and whatever it is, it is. I don't want a half-hour video in there or whatever, but for the most part, whatever it is, it is.
And what happens is, and you said something there, like, people like Nick Nimmin or Sean Cannell, and you watch places like that to learn a few things and stuff.
Right.
One universal thing, and it comes back to like a video length, is if you're providing someone value with what you're putting out there, it really doesn't matter if it's 4 minutes or 34 minutes, because it's that sort of exchange. They're exchanging their time for, you're giving them something and they're giving you the time. So I always try and think of that when I'm making a video, is there something of value someone's going to get from this?
Right.
And it might just be entertainment. Or it could be, this is a kind of a different recipe or something, or maybe they haven't seen me do this yet, but that's a big thing to try and internalize. And I didn't really know that when I started doing this. It was really only after a while I started getting that sort of that click in my head of like, yeah, when they talk about value, it really means something. It's not just a buzzword. Because people really do look at something. If they'll start watching a video and go, this is nothing for me, and they'll click off.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that for sure. All right. It's sometimes, I like to ask that, not necessarily on these, the hot seats, but when I talk to the other creators, I always just wonder what they feel. So, all right. So this is my favorite question. I love asking this question, but it almost hits a bit more home with you just because of your background.
Mm-hmm.
If Hollywood and guys in the chat, play along, Hollywood was going to make a video about you, yourself, the channel, whatever, who's playing Rye?
Well, here's a funny thing. When I, probably about maybe it was 7 or 8 months ago, somehow one of my videos got picked up. It was a beef jerky video, and I got an influx of gamers to my channel. I'm talking 20,000 new subscribers. And it seemed like all of them were gamers. And I didn't understand it until I looked at beef jerky as a big thing that gamers eat when they're really playing, games. They just chow down on beef jerky. So somehow this beef jerky was fed out to a bunch of, gamers. And I don't know how many of them said, "Oh, dude, you're Bobby from Supernatural."
Okay.
And I'd never seen that show. So I went and looked, and it's like, okay, it kind of looked like him. So whoever plays Bobby, he'd probably play me.
All right. We got a couple people in the chat. LT Lewis from Our Shack Barbecue. Richard Dreyfuss I think that's for the win right there.
Paul Giamatti.
Chris Elliott. I could see Chris Elliott a little bit in there.
I love Chris Elliott.
Yeah. John Ratzenberger. Maybe. I think that's it. I don't see anybody else. Oh, Paul Giamatti.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. You're pretty hip to all the Hollywood players still, right? You still kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I've met a bunch of them and things like that. So,
Josh said Clark Griswold.
Clark Griswold.
All right, Sean Connery, maybe. All right, cool. Someone said earlier that you do either you do or someone in the chat does a mean Nick Cage impression. Do you have a Nick Cage impression?
Not me. No.
Someone in the chat. Now, have you did you get to meet him on Knowing? No. That's too bad. Yeah. I always wonder what that cat's like in real life for sure.
I wrote that script was written in 2001 and it was made in 2009. So it goes through multiple directors over the years, multiple stars, multiple everything, and then that's just kind of the thing in film. 99% of the stuff never gets made. So you'll have stuff that you've worked on that is your favorite. But my favorite script is one that I wrote called Godspeed. I wrote it for Jim Cameron, and it'll never be made. It just will never be made. Time has passed. So. Yeah.
Oh, well. All right, cool. I noticed Phil and Florence is in the house.
Hey.
So welcome, Phil. Totally off subject, but guys, I'm doing my 5K giveaway on Sunday. I'm doing it live from Las Vegas. Phil, if you don't win, I'm going to find something for you to win. because you need to get back on your winning streak, Phil. It's been a while since you won anything. We need to get you back in there, brother. All right. Question. All right. You said you watch a bit of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Name 3 channels you watch. One big, one small, and one you think should be bigger. And it doesn't necessarily have to be cooking. Okay.
Well, I mean, I do watch a lot of cooking channels, and I just gravitate towards those because it's what I'm interested in too. Right. Although recently I've been watching guitar channels, trying to learn. Big channel, probably one of the first ones I started watching was Troy. T-Roy Cooks. Started watching him. I remember when he was, getting close to 100,000 subs, and he took a break for like a month because I think his son or someone was having a baby. I can't remember exactly. Like really close to 100,000, and it was like, oh man, so yeah, I've been watching Troy for a long time. Mid-size. I'm trying to think. I don't look at a lot of the subscriber counts when I'm looking at a channel. Actually, one channel that I think should be bigger, just because I love his stuff, I love his manner, I love his gardening, and that's Phil and Florence. I've been watching Phil for a long time. Every time he puts out a gardening video, and I've said this to him before, it's like, oh man, I look at his backyard, and then I look at my like 10 by 40 foot strip on the side where everything dies. I have the same garden out there, man. We're in Southern California. Yep.
Everybody builds a house on top of the house right next to it.
Yep.
Our backyard's all pool and patio, and dog run on the side. So, Phil and Florence definitely.
Yeah. I mean, so I'd love to see Phil's channel get bigger because he's such just a nice guy. He's just a genuine guy.
We recently had him on the hot seat, and we had technical difficulties. I ended up calling him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I ended up calling him and putting the phone next to the microphone just so we could keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
He's such a great dude. So that's awesome.
And then, one more, and it has nothing to do with size or anything, but is Mike at Culinary Cookhouse.
Yep.
I'm envious of his Blackstone setup he's got with the surround on it and everything he's been shooting. It's got a nice little table and everything around it. That thing looks like those tepon tables you go to like a Benihana or something. It just looks great. Yeah.
Well, Mike. We've actually had him on too.
Yeah.
And he's doing all the right things on his channel. I'm surprised he isn't a lot bigger. I love watching Mike's. I don't get a chance to comment. That's the other thing I've noticed as I've gotten in the game a little bit longer. I don't have a chance to comment on a lot of videos. I try to.
Yeah.
But I try to watch. I'll have it on at work. I'll have my headphones in and just kind of listening, looking, doing some work, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make sure everybody's watching.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, don't air quote works. I worked hard this week. And it's still one more day left. All right. This is my money-making week, baby. I did happen to edit a video at the office the other day, but still. Anyway, so Mike's doing big things over there. Just got the Pit Boss vertical smoker, and he's doing some good stuff. Yeah. You know why? It's because he has the support of a good woman, Donna David. She's in there.
Yeah.
There you go, Donna. Get a shout out to you, baby. Not tampon table, no.
Tampon.
Not tampon, not tampon. I hope that he does not have a tampon table. Okay, so that brings it up. Do you have a Blackstone? Are you ever looking to get one?
I don't have one, and it's funny when people ask like, what cookers do you want to get and things. There's a few that are on my list, but it comes down to kind of like real estate that you have in the yard of like where you're going to put stuff and shift things around. Like I said, my next thing is a 26-inch kettle. Probably after that will be a pellet grill. And then I'm not sure after that. At some point, I'll get a bigger offset, but not because the Oklahoma Joe's isn't working. It's fine. It's just it doesn't have the capacity for some of the bigger things I'd like to do.
Right on. Do you do any catering stuff, or are you just known as your friends as the guy who does some barbecue for him?
Yeah, I just do the stuff for us, and and then whenever make something, if there's stuff left, the family grabs it and things like that. So I'm lucky to have sort of a big extended family around here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, I see one last person jumped in the chat. Ron Wint, welcome. He says hi, everybody. So welcome, Ron. I appreciate you being here. All right. If you could cook with anybody in history, alive or dead, who would you want to cook with?
Julia Child.
All right. We've heard that answer before. I think it's a great answer for sure.
I think she would be just fun to cook with because her history was so interesting. She didn't start out as a chef. She was a diplomat's wife.
I think she'd be funny because you could tell she enjoys her wine.
Yeah.
And cooking with her wine.
So I think that would be really cool. I think also like Alton Brown would be kind of fun. Just to have to cook something with. So yeah, I mean
that I think Alton would be intimidating.
He might be intimidating, but I can be intimidating too.
Yeah, well, yeah, Julia Child for sure. Dash said Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain is mine.
Yeah,
I would love to cook with that guy, and maybe not necessarily cook with Bourdain, but just travel with that guy. And I've watched. We watch Parts Unknown or No Reservations, all that stuff. It's I put it on my Facebook the other day or whatever. It was Bourdain Day, the anniversary of his death, and he made it an adventure.
Yeah,
I mean, food was, it was part of his thing, but it's talking to the people, how they came along on doing what they were doing, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
I love that. Have you ever seen the movie The Big Short?
Yeah.
He's got that scene in there where he's explaining something. He's making bouillabaisse and he's talking about old fish, and it's like that's great.
Yeah, you say The Big Short. Okay, here's the thing. I work in the mortgage industry. My wife does too. We work at the same office. She's a manager in one department. I'm a manager in the other. Right? We go to see The Big Short when it came out in full theater, and we actually had some friends that were sitting behind us. We didn't realize that they're there, but they're in the mortgage industry also. So there was just little bitty parts throughout it that people don't know about the mortgage industry, but we were laughing our asses off. All you hear was 4 people laughing, and people were like, "Why are they laughing?" Well, it's very, I went through that. I've been in the mortgage industry. I was 19 when I got into it, fresh out of college. I, stopped playing ball, whatever. And I've been doing it, I'm going to be 43 next month, and I've been doing it a long time. So that it resonated so well with us because we went through the subprime meltdown and all that stuff. And there was, and just the partying and we had tons of money and then we didn't have tons of money. And it was so funny to us. So anyway, I just thought it was funny that you brought that up. The Big Short just resonated.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Let's see here. Mel Simple Meals there. How you doing, Mel? Good to see you in there. Not that I wish you'd be dead or going to prison anytime soon. What would your final meal be? Your last meal be?
Lasagna and garlic bread.
Ooh, I'm with you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say like a ribeye and a lobster tail and all that stuff, but my grandma is Italian from Sicily, so she made mean Italian food, obviously.
I would get like a big old thing of takeout lasagna from the Italian restaurant nearby, like a couple bags of garlic bread.
Easy old dripping garlic bread. Oh, I'm with you.
That would be mine.
It's all about the racks and CJ and basketball. Here's a chance for Kent to say short jokes. I played football, and I'm not short, Kent. You're just lengthy. All right, cool, brother. I think that's all I really wanted to ask as far as my questions go. I'll save my last one for you because I ask it every week. Kent, why don't you throw out your last couple questions and we'll get Ryan on his way.
Okay. Ryan, Cooking with Cad wants to know, by looking at your hat, if you have a NASA affiliation.
No, but let me grab something here. This. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this here? This picture? See that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's that script I wrote called Godspeed was basically about the space shuttle and the whole thing that went on with it. And this is me and one of the producers. We were in Florida for a week, and we got to meet with like engineers and everybody involved with the space shuttle program. And it was the most awesome week of my life. I mean, it was just incredible. We were up on the launch towers and everything. I've just been a space nut my whole life, and to be able to write that script, for Jim Cameron and to go there to Kennedy and meet all those people and just be behind the scenes and look at stuff. So yeah, I'm just a space nut. I remember the first moon launch. We're coming up on 50-year anniversary. I was 5 years old, or almost 5 years old.
Yeah, July 20, I believe, isn't it?
Yep, July 20, 1969.
You know what? I wasn't quite there yet.
I was just almost 5.
Well, I was born December of 69, so it was just a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
So, all right. Darren, Firewater Cooking, says, ask Rye about his characters, Bat Cow and Chicken. I know we kind of covered that, but.
The whole Bat Cow thing came from something in my live stream where I made some sort of sound, and I don't even remember what it was. It was a sound effect that went in, and someone said that sounds like a cow stepping on a bat, and someone else said Bat Cow, and that's kind of where that came from. And so just made the Bat Cow animation for when people gave super chats, and then had to have a Pig Robin in the next one, and then we had to have a Chicken Joker in the next one. So it was just goofy, just from what people said in chat. We were just taking things and doing that.
That's funny. Yeah, I kind of miss them. Yeah. I'm gonna try tune in Saturday, but I'm gonna be out of competition, so it might be.
Yeah, I won't be able to. I was planning to maybe do an extra one this Saturday, but I won't be able to. I have to finish a project, but it'll be a week from Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I can make that one. Perfect.
There you go.
All right. Last question I have wrote down for you. Let me check. Yes. Simple Man's Barbecue wants to know, have you ever been approached by Food Network for your own show?
No.
All right, follow that up. Do you want to be approached by Food Network?
No.
There you go.
I like what I'm doing. I mean, I've worked in the entertainment industry for a long time, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that, it just isn't always the way it looks. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that are 100% built for that. That is their thing. They would just shine at that. I would not. It's just not my thing.
Well, there you go. Fair enough. TV is not for everyone, right?
Yeah, I've got a face made for radio and, blurry YouTube, 720p YouTube.
There you go. I know somebody else in this chat that has that too. So.
This freaking guy, every freaking week.
All right. That's all I have for you. Cheers, Rye. Great job.
Thank you, Kent.
Give it up.
Enjoyed having you on.
Thank you, guys. I enjoyed it myself.
All right, cool, guys. All right, I'm going to throw the Hangout link in the chat when we're done. I got one last question for you. Who would you like to see on the hot seat?
Wow, that's a good question.
I know. That's why.
Have you had Greg from Ballistic Barbecue on?
I have not. He was actually on when Hobo was running it.
Okay.
But I plan on meeting up with him in October. We got some plans, so I'm hoping to do at least a live.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. I think I'd like to see Greg on.
Okay. Hobo, no, you didn't miss it. I just didn't ask it, but we have a couple minutes. Who would be on your personal Mount Rushmore? 4 people you just love and admire.
Oh, wow. Well, some of them are like, because of my background and stuff. Some are writers like Robert Frost. I love his poetry. I don't write poetry, but I like that sort of language. It's like when you're a writer and you've been a writer for a long time, you kind of aspire to certain things and you never achieve it. But so like Robert Frost would be there. I think Eisenhower would be on there. And she has another special place, Kent.
Every time we either cough or put it up.
And I'd have to say, I don't say this much, but probably my dad. He served in World War II and he died when I was 20. So never got to hear anything about his time in World War II because he never talked about it. And it wasn't until a few years ago when my mom passed away that I got documents that had to deal with his service. And I was able to get all his medals that he was due and was never given because they had a fire in 1973 that destroyed like 16 million military records. And so they could never verify his service until my mom had his DD, what is it, 214, his discharge, and was able to get his medals and things like that. You know, he was in the Pacific in World War II. So, yeah. So that would be mine.
My dad was in Vietnam, and we've never talked about his experience either. And he's dealing with some crap right now, and you know, the VA is helping him through it. But you know, we never talked about it.
The only thing my dad ever talked about World War II, and this comes back to food, we were never allowed to have lamb in our house ever. I didn't have lamb till like I was 20 years old.
All right.
Because when he was in the Pacific in World War II, and it's for a 6-month stretch, he was stationed in New Guinea. And he said, we ate lamb morning, noon, and night.
Oh.
That was all they had for 6 months because they were plentiful and they fed them lamb. And he said, we're never, ever having lamb in our house. So we never had lamb. And that's all I ever heard about his service.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that kind of takes us to the end here, right?
Well, thank you much, man. I appreciate it. This was a great time.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate it. So, Kent, would you like to say anything on the way out, brother?
Ryan, great job tonight. Great answers. Enjoyed having you on, and I'll be seeing you on your next live.
Thank you much, Ken. I sure appreciate it.
All right. Ryan, would you like to say anything on the way out?
Yeah, just thank you, everybody. I know CJ and I have been trying to figure out a way to get on here for a while, and people have always been like saying, Ryan, when are you going to be on the hot seat? Well, we got it finally.
It finally worked out.
So, yeah, and I appreciate everybody that comes, you know, not only watches my videos, but watches CJ's and Kent. And Kent, you just crossed 1,000 recently too, didn't you, subs? Like,
yes, sir.
Like a month ago? Yeah, congrats. Nice.
Thank you.
And then CJ 5,000. I mean, it's just nice. It's just such a great community, you know, of people who watch stuff and share and go back and forth. It's just so nice to see. And I love seeing people here enjoying these shows, you know, when you do them. So yeah, thank you, everybody.
I appreciate you, Ryan. That means a lot. I'm so glad we were actually able to work this out.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've been talking for a lot of months about this.
Yeah.
I see one of my moderators, Cooking with Kirby, just stopped in there. Hey, Kirby, how you doing, brother? Thanks for the text messages earlier. Appreciate it. Guys, no hot seat next week. It's the 4th of July. We're taking a holiday break. You know, Kent needs the time off. He's tired. He's working hard. So we'll be back July 11th with Dash from SDS Barbecue, and then you know, we'll go from there. So guys, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Stay safe out there. No drinking and driving. No holding the fireworks in your hands. Don't blow up your house. Don't light your roofs on fire. Be careful out there, guys. I'm going to put the Hangout link that we're on right here. Right, stay on if you want. You don't have to, but I'm going to put the Hangout link. You can jump in and chat with us for a little bit in the chat. Do not jump on until we jump off. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Again, have a great holiday.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys so much.